John Baker here from RotacRepair.ca. Today I've got a 503 engine on my bench. It was off an aircraft that was just purchased, and on my recommendation I said it's been sitting for a long time. Don't even try and start the engine. Let's dismantle it and do an inspection on it and find out what you actually bought. I see right away a hole corroded in the plate right here in this little aluminum cover, and probably another one right there, and a lot of stains of dried up, some kind of ooze coming out of the bottom there. I don't know what to expect. Oh my goodness. Look at what's in here. At least nothing jumped out to try and get me. Now I can see the fan here. We'll knock this piece out of the way here. Oh my gosh, I ain't even touching this stuff. This little snaky looking thing around here is actually the fan belt. So it is detached. So there's a good question. Was it detached and the engine overheated and the airplane stopped or something, and that's why they weren't flying it? Or did the animals eat it and it fell off? Oh yes, look at, there's the little culprit right there. Nice. There's so much corrosion in here that I couldn't get the socket to go in to try to get the lock in the crankshaft. And oh my goodness, I can see the corrosion in behind here. It's terrible. All right. Oh, there we go. Well, that one is going to be an issue, that's for sure. But that must have been one of the ones that was right down at the bottom position, so it's really full of stuff. So I'll get my dental pick here and try and clean out. And let's see if we can get this to go in now. Oh, this is just nasty. Oh, thank goodness, out it's gonna come. Give me my tool back. There we go. All of this mess like this and corrosion, it's almost like working on a car. Nice. Wow. I don't know what's living in there. It's like some kind of a cocoon or something. I have no idea what it is. At any rate, so let's go for the fan and find out if the fan actually turns or not. That one's broken off already. Oh man, this thing is like glued on. Yuck. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, isn't this lovely? There we go. I guess it'd be better if you could see what's going on here. Wow. There we go. Yeah. Yep. And we got the belt out. So what I see on the belt is no, I think well, let's see, if we were going to put this back together. No, I would guess that the little critters ate the belt and it just sprang off, and that's where it landed. That's pretty interesting. And let's see, these are, yeah, they're all little nibbles there. So if the fan pulley had have stopped, it would actually have melted a nice round section out of the belt. So no, this is animal damage, so I'm actually glad to see that, because that's an indicator that it was likely was flying and working well, or running at least, when the aircraft was parked. So let's carry on and get all this grossness off here. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, we'll put this in the gross pile. And let's see if we can get the pulley off. Here. You see that? So there's no hope for that, because even if you clean the rust off it, like with a wire wheel or something, it's so pitted that if you put a new belt on there, as it turns, it's just like sandpaper, and it's just going to chew the belt right off of it. All right, it's been soaking for a little while. I repositioned the engine so I can get a little safer leverage on it. And let's see. There we go. Good. Certainly didn't want to turn very well then. I've got the ignition coils off. Let's take off the ignition pickup coils. Find out if the mice ate them. Alright. Oh, this is so nice. Okay. That one. I'm concerned about the corrosion that's underneath the plate. I've seen these break off before. This piece break off. Oh, that's in terrible shape. Wow. It does only have 2 bolts holding it on, and I did take the bolt out. All right, so put a little juice on it. This definitely reminds me of working on cars. All right. Typically when you take out the screws, this is, you just lift it off. All right. So this is just loaded with corrosion and crud underneath there. I'll have to take the stator off of the plate, give it a good visual examination, and then I will, oh, it's missing a piece here. Oh, it's down in the bottom. So these two and those two, so this supplies one ignition, makes the power to power the one ignition, and this makes the power to power the other ignition. There's so much corrosion in this already that this piece goes on that way, that it's already just popped off through corrosion. Okay, so let's look at this one and see if there's any nibblings on this one. It appears not, and corrosion-wise, this one appears quite nice. There's a little corrosion on the face right there. I'm sure that'll polish off or clean off. I'll have to examine it after it's actually clean. Socket back. This This is probably going to be glued on like everything else. There we go. It is absolutely packed full up in here. So starting this engine would have, whether it was any good or not anyway, but it would have destroyed it. I'm afraid something's going to jump out at me, but I think it's been long enough that... Okay, so a lot of corrosion on the sheet metal. More animal stuff, and quite a bit, all packed neatly into the fins here. So we've had the engine block outside and returned all of that stuff to nature with the air blower, and I've decontaminated the bench courtesy of Spray 9. So on visual inspection, the cylinders look fine. They're not all full of rust, which is very promising. As you can see, I've removed the crankshaft from the engine. It's completely dismantled, of course. Visually, everything looks really, really good. Just one point here in the rear seal, the rear crankshaft seal, this is the assembly lube that's still in it from when I put it together. Which was, I'd have to look in the file now, several years ago. Looks like it hasn't run very much and it's just sat. Now, the purchaser of this airplane was assured by the previous owner that he had fogged the engine before he left it for storage, and it appears that he did. So it just goes to show you that even with that big of a mess in the flywheel starter area and all the mouse house and everything else in it, and the chewed off fan belt and everything else, if you fog the engine before you put it away, the chances are good the inside of the engine is going to be good. So I will, of course, go over and measure everything and make sure it's all to spec and record those dimensions. The most serious point that we have for repairs will be, of course, in what you've already seen, all that mess around the magneto flywheel. I'm sure the starter's seized. I haven't even looked at the starter yet. So as you can see by how nice this engine is visually inside, after being fogged, engine preservation, very, very important. If you're going to store the airplane for a little while, make sure you fog it. The instructions are in the Rotax manuals, available for free download at rotax-owner.com. For $3, you can have all of the manuals. It was a pleasure spending some time with you today. Share the video if you like. Hit the button, hit the bell, all those things like that. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye now.